Well, hello, welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and welcome back to episode number. What number is this? 18? 18? We are 18, number 18 right now. And I had prepared a show for today, doing all the news of the world. And 15 minutes ago, I had to change everything and make this about this absolutely fresh content. We're gonna be doing a body language analysis of this historic meeting of Donald Trump again at the Oval Office with Joe Biden. I had to change everything. It doesn't matter. That's why that is the good thing of having the flexibility. And I said I have to cover this. I have to do this right now. So, how to say that? It was out of the blue. It was going to happen at some point. We knew it was going to happen, but I was just not caught off guard because I have all the pictures and all the relevant videos to look at this. So we have Trump at the Oval Office again with Biden, and we're going to be reviewing all the pictures first and the videos, and then we can proceed with the body language analysis. First, the handshake. Okay, we're going to take a look at the images of the handshake and their body language in general, and the way they were dressed. The most relevant thing here, one of the things that we are going to, this is no Obama. This is no, you remember Obama was so let down back in 2016, but Biden is just happy to see Donald here. He's so happy. Breaking: Biden and Trump meet at White House for transition talks. Biden welcomed President-elect Trump to the White House, marking their first Oval Office meeting since Trump's 2020 loss. The two exchanged pleasantries about the fire, and we're talking about the fire as well. Another angle of the handshake and another angle of the body language. We're going to see, let's going to watch one of the videos first. The outlets already covering this event. But I want to see a complete video of that handshake. Let's see if we can have audio of Biden.
Accommodated what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So
good.
Welcome
Thank you
back.
very much. And thank you very much. And politics is tough. And it's, in many cases, not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today. And
there's a bit of low audio quality, but at least we can see the body language here. Donald Trump is saying that politics is very tough. It can be very rough, and you see that. I'm gonna review all the clips, and then we will be talking about all the body language signals. One thing that I'm going to ask you, I want to make this interactive right now. Let's ask not only about Biden's facial expression, but what can you tell from his posture here, the way that he's sitting? What can you tell? What do you feel about the way that he is sitting? What do you feel about that? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to keep an eye on the live chat as we keep
very much.
Keep watching this.
A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Jim.
A transition that's going to be really smooth. I'm sure there's going to be. Biden already said that he's going to work hard to make this transition as smooth as he can. He's going to work hard for that.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Hard to see, hard to hear any question in particular. In general, I'm going to ask the question again. Some of you have already answered about Biden's body language. Madeline has tweets. He's comfortable with Trump. Yeah, he's quite comfortable. He's excited, leaning in, yeah, and relaxed at the same time. It's open. Very good, Luisa. Thank you. And he seems happy to be rid of his position. Yeah, he knows he's reaching the end of his term. He knows that he knows so many things. We are gonna be talking about all that, but I'm glad of reading all your comments. It's the same. This is the same clip, but a different audio. I don't know if I have better audio of this. I have the handshake, and well, of course, we have memes. We're gonna be reviewing a couple of memes before we go into the analysis itself. Biden, when Trump walks into the Oval Office for their meeting today. Yeah, we absolutely needed this. Thank you, Puerto Rican on X. President Trump is officially back at the Oval Office. Let me see if we have a better angle or a better. Okay, this is a very good angle of the handshake. I like it. The video quality is not that good. I'm telling you, this is 15 minutes ago that I began just scrambling, just bringing all the clips and images here to make this analysis. 15 minutes. So I'm just reviewing to make sure that we pick the best quality of them. At some point, we had quite a different body language. At some point, we're gonna be talking about that as well. See, look how happy Joe Biden is sitting next to Donald Trump at the White House right now. Even Biden is happy Trump is the 47th president. We got another clip in here. It's the same. Okay, this one is good. I like this one because we have a couple close-ups. I'm going to mark this. This is like a live analysis. I'm gonna make a marker here, and this is like the way that I do this analysis. This is the handshake. Let me mark this one. Handshake. Nice. And small body language in here. Let me see what else we have. We have more, of course, more memes. You remember this meme, right? This is AI. This is not real. That kind of stuff that we need to deal this day, but it's funny nonetheless. So it's never not going to be funny. And who else thinks Biden voted for Trump? And we are about to begin with our analysis. And yes, some people were asking, what was up with the raging fireplace in the background of Trump and Biden's White House meeting? There's always symbolism behind everything they do. I'm going to check afterwards. Remind me of checking the fireplace in other years when, a president meets with the president-elect, if the fireplace is raging like that. That is like a symbol for the Democrats who must be coping and seething right now, burning right now. Watching this, I don't know which, and of course the usual memes. So we are ready to begin. I think we should start with the handshake. I don't this one. Let me just adjust my machinery in here, and we can have the first steps before the handshake, which is of course the most symbolic moment of all. You can have a meeting between two people, in this case the sitting president who is going out, so to speak, and the president-elect who is going in, and they're shaking hands in this transference of power. Is that the word? Maybe that's not the word, but the handshake is the moment in which there's that goodwill between them. There has to be goodwill, no matter if they were opponents at some point. It should be that America and American citizens is in their best interest. So we see that Trump was looking at everybody, was reporters at that moment, and Biden was preparing to go for the handshake. He was looking in Trump's direction. You see it. Then see that Trump turns to Biden, and Biden's hand was already prepared to go for the handshake. You see that his thumb was tense in the sense that he was about to give his hand. And notice, I want you to notice, this is very important. Usually, Donald Trump is the one who starts the handshake. You know, and you know that Trump gives her his hand palm up in an absolutely, first part, non-powerful handshake. Okay, that is usually the first part of Trump's handshake all the time. But this time he was waiting for Biden to start the handshake. I think that is the polite thing to do. It shouldn't be Trump. And then Biden goes right there and leans in. Notice his body language. He leans in. One thing that I find a bit unsettling is that even if Biden was the first one to give her his hand forward, he is not looking at Trump. He's looking down. Okay? Usually if you give your hand forward, you have to be looking at the person's eyes. That is what you should do. So they look down to your hand. But Biden was looking a bit down and left his hand in the air. And then after 1 second, I think it was 1 second. Yeah, like 1 second. That's when Trump changed posture from his usual posture. You know that this is pretty much Trump's signature posture. And then he goes for the handshake. And in the handshake, you know that split second before the handshake actually happens, that's when you see if the handshake was a power tug of war between them. Biden was giving his hand with the palm down, and usually more dominant gesture. Trump, as usual, Trump always gives his hand palm up, or something that he usually does. The power and the dominance that Trump displays is that he brings people back towards him. He pulls people. That is the way that he exerts dominance over people. But he usually gives his, almost always, I would say that always he gives his hand palm up. That is important, that distinction. And you see that this is totally counterintuitive in that the first person, in this case Biden, who gave his hand for the handshake, is looking down, and Trump, who is going for his hand, is looking at Biden. It should be the opposite way. It's like, you know, in this case, who is looking more powerful here? Well, let's hide their hands for a minute. Who is looking more powerful here? The one who is looking down, or the one who is looking into the other's eyes? Yeah, Trump is more dominant, more powerful. You know, these dynamics are important. All this happens in a split second. We catch all of this. You might say this is reading too much into it, but we catch it. We catch it. All this is important. So you can as well notice all this when you're going to shake hands with somebody. You have to take this into account so you know how to shake people's hands properly and project the right body language that you want to project. And then they do this. This is important. Look at this. And this is another question. Who looks more powerful in here? This is a bit complicated. This one is a bit complicated because in the sense of body language, there are two contradicting things in here. It's like I'd say that they are even. How they are even in that body language, in the sense that the one who is extending his arm or his hand more is Biden. Usually the one who extends his hand the most is the one who looks less powerful. You extend your hand for the king or the emperor, and the king doesn't have to extend his hand to you. All right? That would make Biden look less powerful here. But Trump, at the same time, he's leaning way more with his body. He's he is like hunched. Okay, he has it like in a lower level. His head is even at a lower level than Biden. So at the same time, he looks a bit submissive to Biden. So it's like they are canceling each other out. It's not like any of them look more powerful than the other. They are, that's what I told you, they are quite even in that handshake, even though, you know, that Trump is giving a not dominant handshake and Biden is doing a dominant handshake. At the same time, and this is in every scenario, if you're going to be, someone's going to take a picture of you or video of you as you're shaking your hand, always make sure that you are to the left of the photo or the video or whatever where Trump is sitting. I've explained this in debates. I've explained this in the in pictures and videos like this. That is the most powerful area of the frame. So they shake hands. A couple seconds. It's a very warm handshake. It's a bit uncomfortable. The only thing is a bit uncomfortable for Trump because, of course, it's the arm that is farthest from Biden, and since they are sitting, then it becomes a bit uncomfortable for him. That's why he's fixing his left hand in there. And Biden is a bit stiff. You know that Biden these days, I mean, like 2 years ago, he doesn't move much. He is quite, I don't know, not moving much. And then they come back to their positions. And we were talking about Biden's body language. So many of you were on point on Biden's body language. You're going to be looking for a thing that we have. All right. Let's go for Biden's body language first. We're talking about, of course, about his smile, and he was delighted. This is a smile of delight. There's no other way to talk about this. He's delighted of looking at Donald Trump in there. At the end of the analysis, I will search for other pictures, other videos, maybe when Obama greeted Trump back in 2016, so we can compare. That would be interesting. And his body language, as so many of you pointed out, it was open. It is open. Okay, you have an open gesture, posture. His shoulders are straight, pretty much straight. His neck is relaxed. His hands are on his legs, and he has a open posture. He's willing. He is. Some of you are saying, do not believe Biden's body language. The guy is a snake. Yeah, the guy is a snake in many ways. You know that Biden's rhetoric, the same as the small Democrats, was the one who, steered the pot and created all this assassination attempts on Donald Trump. So it's a delicate topic as well. That's why Melania rejected that meeting with Jill Biden. She was not going to do it, but this was an absolute must. And yeah, if some of you say that Biden looks relieved, maybe he looks relieved. Maybe he is pleased that his plan worked. And there they are. Yeah, the chairs are huge. The chairs are huge. And Trump, this is a signature. This is a signature way that Trump sits down. He sits down with his hands between his legs, and usually with this position, this gesture. And he was leaning towards Biden. Sometimes he was trying to make that distance between them shorter. That's something that you do even if you're sitting in these huge chairs. You do it as a goodwill gesture. Trump was trying to be polite as well, and he also had saved some moments that we saw. He had a very pleasant face Biden, some of you are mentioning the colors. Of course, well, the colors of the ties, the color of the tie is so important in this. Everything is assembled. That I agree wholeheartedly. They know this is going to be a historic moment. So, well, Trump did not play games. He went with his full-on red tie. Full-on red tie, the navy blue suit. But Biden went with a. This could be like a. It's a burgundy or purple. It's a reddish tone. That is interesting. It was a reddish tone. Maybe he wanted to send a message. And nice suit, by the way. Really nice suit, Biden. I really like this suit, by the way. I should get myself one of these. He knows Biden is merely a puppet. Maroon could be a color as well. Let's say burgundy. Like vino tinto, as we say it in Spanish. I don't know what is how to say that in English. Vino tinto. Like red wine. Or red wine. 100% believe Biden's voted for Trump. Everybody knows that by this point, Travis. You're on point, yeah. Everybody knows that. Let me see other pictures and other angles. The same that we have seen. All right. Now, from this angle, it's better to see that, yes, at some point, Trump was looking at Biden and Biden was looking at him. You see that there's a straight line here. And again, Biden was the one extending his arm more, but Trump had to lean because of the disposition of the chairs, and because both of them have to use their right hands, and that's what makes that moment like this. Let me see which other. We saw this one. We saw this one, and there's also this. This is the posture, the sitting that I tell you that Trump is used to do, his signature way of sitting, and he also looked really happy to be there. Oh, let me see. Here comes purple on plum. Some of you are helping me with the color. Thank you. And yeah, he was happy. Trump is, well, I belong here. And again, that fireplace was, that fireplace is a threat to climate change. Oh my God. And well, Biden sometimes had his "Where am I?" face. That's also, and 2 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, he has this that face. I'm going to play this clip again with audio just in case.
Looking forward to having like we said, smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure.
Yes, the fireplace is way louder than what they are saying. Let me see another clip here. If we have, okay. Let's see if this one.
And the former president.
Thank you.
Donald, congratulations.
Thank you.
And looking forward to having like we said, smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So
Good.
welcome
Thank you
back.
very much.
Welcome back. It's a very warm welcome. Welcome back. Yeah, that fire is roaring. When I'm going to look for the 2016. We need to.
Thank you very much. And politics is tough.
Yeah, politics is tough. And you see when the reporters begin, they want to ask him questions. Trump says, okay, here we go again. And Biden, oh yeah, I'm about to go on a permanent vacation. I'm out of here. and so out of here. And let's do something. I'm going to look for that video. I'm going to look for that video of Obama greeting Donald Trump so we can compare. This was one of the few moments in which I see that Trump was, what was Trump thinking here? What was Trump thinking here? I have to drain the swamp. Time to drain the swamp for real. Time to drain the swamp for real. And well, Biden, it seems that he had lunch at Taco Bell, and he was feeling the outcome, the consequences of having lunch at Taco Bell. You don't go to Taco Bell on a day like this. You do that on Saturdays or Sundays, and you have more time. But I'm going to leave the chat open. I show the chat. Let me see if we have another angle that we missed. And you see that Trump also has some playful gestures like this one with Biden. Hey, are you gonna miss this? And Biden is like, no. So let's do that. I'm going to look for the video from 2016 so we can compare. We can compare this, and maybe the video from 2020 as well. I'm going to change here so you can read your own comments, and I'm going to do my magic here. Keep talking. Let's see. Obama and Trump Oval Office here. All right. Nice. We have a 3-minute video that I already spotted, and it should be easy to download it. We will have it available, and no, there was no fire. I'm going to tell you, was already no fire. Let's take it a bit. Link. The fire was not on. By the way, I think it was an error has occurred. Let me. Okay, this one is going to work. Sometimes doesn't work, but we have to do this in real time because this is the Jesus Enrique Rosas show, and we make things happen. We make things happen no matter what. 15 minutes before a show starts, I would deal with anything just to bring you the best content, updated content, and we're gonna be comparing that. I've got the video. I have the video now. Let me see if I'm not make sure that I'm not blowing up. I had a show for today. This was out of the blue. But we need to compare. Let's compare. Now we are ready here. We are ready here to compare with 2016. Okay. Nice and sweet. Here we are. 2016, there was no raging fire back then. Let me see. Let's see what Obama was saying and his body language. Let's compare the body language of Obama on the way they were dressed. And no, there was no. The most important thing was there was no raging fire.
Well, I just had the opportunity to have an excellent conversation with President-elect Trump. It was wide-ranging. We talked about some of the.
You see that two things. Well, first, that Trump had his signature way of sitting down. That was the usual. But even, with the excitement of his first term, what was coming, it's obvious that he was not comfortable around Barack. No. He didn't like being around Barack. Let's see if it changes afterward.
Organizational issues in setting up a White House. We talked about foreign policy, we talked about domestic policy. And as I said last night, my number one priority in the coming 2 months is to try to facilitate a transition that ensures our.
Notice as Obama is speaking, he's leaning slightly away from Trump. You notice that his body is leaning away from him. He tries to gesture, of course. He's gesturing towards Trump. They're talking about the transition, but the way that he's speaking about the transition, he's leaning away from Donald Trump. So there was this resistance. I don't know how this happened.
Is successful.
And you can see in his face, how excited he was.
Facilitate a transition that ensures our president-elect is successful.
Successful, yeah. This is the face of someone wishing the president-elect success. No, maybe you watched that movie. I think it was The Plot Against the President. Everything that was happening from day one after the elections to make sure that Trump was neutralized. Yeah, we know I'm going to mark this moment because it's so important to mark this instant here. We need to mark this instant here so we can compare with Biden. Let's see, where's the moment? Where's the Biden's face? This is the Biden face that we need to compare Obama to. Biden, absolutely delighted. And how was Obama? Yeah, I want him to succeed. I want him to succeed. We are comparing, for those of you who are arriving right now, we are comparing what was that moment back in 2016 with today, what was going right now. But maybe at some point, Barry decided to, let's play cool. Right? What's the worst that can happen?
And I have been very encouraged by the, I think, interest in President-elect Trump.
Okay, I think the cameraman is having a seizure. We'll try to ignore that part, but it's also that he's usually very eloquent. He is this great public speaker, and he was, maybe he was not that comfortable, we could say.
Trump's wanting to work with my team around.
Wanting to work with my team, and look at that body language. He pressed his lips. Yeah, you get the idea. We're gonna just watch this again so you can compare. Okay, they were all yelling.
Thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's in many cases not a very nice world, but it is.
Let's jump back and see that if Trump said anything, and I guess that he said something.
Regardless of political preferences,
Well, this happens when Obama spoke. Our likes were 666. It says a lot.
now come together, work together to deal with the many challenges that we face.
Double
In the meantime,
speed. I don't have time for Barry.
Greet the incoming First Lady, and we had an excellent conversation with her as well, and we want to make sure that they feel welcome as they prepare.
All right, I think that's something.
So, now are going to want to do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you succeed, then the country succeeds.
All right, let's look at Obama's face. If you succeed, then the country succeeds. He was seething at that moment.
Want to do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you succeed, then the country succeeds.
Then the country succeeds. No. he was fuming. He was like the fireplace this year. He was like the fireplace this year. And he does this. Like, well, you go ahead. And he does this dismissive gesture. We're gonna be watching the 2020 meeting as well. I'm gonna look for the 2020 meeting so we can go full circle. Thank you, Sana. Tomorrow.
Please.
Well, thank you very much, President Obama. This was a meeting that was going to last for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and we were just going to get to know each other. We had never met each other. I have great respect. The meeting lasted for almost an hour and a half, and it could have, as far as I'm concerned, it could have gone on for a lot longer. We really, we discussed a lot of different situations, some wonderful and some difficulties.
You know that he's trying to measure his words. He's a bit uncomfortable. He's trying to be polite. He's trying to be nice about meeting with Obama, but I don't think that meeting went as warm as they pretend it to be. He can't say. I guess that Trump says I cannot just make it seem like this went smooth, because it didn't.
I very much look forward to dealing with the president in the future, including counsel. He explained some of the difficulties, some of the high-flying assets, and some of the really great things that have been achieved. So, Mr. President, it was a great honor being with you, and I look forward to being with you many, many more times in the future. Thank you.
Okay, I remember this. I remember that I analyzed this handshake back then. You know that it was both of them. First, Obama was looking down. He was not looking at Trump. He offered a kind of open handshake, not dominant. Biden was much more dominant, and Trump grabbed it. But this, I remember this. Time hasn't passed from this moment in which they shake hands, and well, you can see that there was no chemistry whatsoever. I'm going to mark this moment so we can compare that with Biden right now. Lips pressed. These two were about to hit each other in the face. Let me see how different is Trump with Biden today? How different was Trump with Biden today? The difference was from del cielo a la tierra, como decimos en español. Mira esto. Look at this. Look at this. Let's go for. We need to go for that picture of the handshake. Where's the picture of the handshake? There's no pressed lips. There's no pressed lips. The lips are relaxed. There's even a slight smile from Biden. It was a really nice exchange. And just in case, I'm going to go for that clip of the handshake again.
Well, Mr. President-elect and former President, thank you. Donald, congratulations. Thank you.
Yeah, much more warm. And we're not talking about the fireplace that was burning. And no, Obama had no fireplace on. No fireplace on for. So it was quite, gray. Just like Obama was wearing a gray, as in this was a gray day for America. There's all sorts of symbolism here. I don't know if this was a similar shade of navy blue that we saw on today, but see that the tie is the same. But it's time to go for the 2020. Go down memory lane and go to 2020. Meanwhile, I'm going to leave you with this picture. This picture represents very well the spirit of today. And meanwhile, I'm going to, maybe there's a better picture here. I like this. This, at no point you saw this with Obama, but we need to we need to go down to memory lane and go for that 2020. I'm gonna look for it right now. And Oval Office. In real time, let me see. Is how do I find the 2020? The 2021 should be very hard. Is there any way to? Many pictures of course the current meeting is dominating the results. Let's see if I can find the 2021. If let me see if any of you have sent me let's see if advanced search we can go with. Advanced search. Check advanced search. So some of you are also looking for it, right? Did they even meet? I don't know. I'm looking on Twitter and I cannot find anything. Just gonna be trying. Let me Biden. Okay, Trump skipped that in 2020. It did not happen. That's why we cannot find it. Interesting. Let me just confirm it. Did you confirm that they skipped that in 2020? Trump took part of this tradition in 2016 but skipped it in 2020. In 2020, Trump refused to accept the results of the elections and did not invite Biden to the Oval Office. So that's why we cannot find it. All right, that is interesting. It is interesting that then this is the first time we see Biden and Trump meeting at the Oval Office, and it went like this. Oh, thank you. Trump skipped it last time. Now we know. Now we know it. So interesting. For those of you, yes, I'm analyzing today's meeting between Trump and Biden, and this is the result. If you had any doubts that Biden was conspiring to get Trump back into the White House, of course, it was not just Biden's doing. But I also had a bookmark here that is going to be interesting to read, for all of us to read. It would be important. It was precisely about this. I thought I had highlighted and bookmarked. in the sense that we already know just gonna jump a couple things here and we can go back. No, I cannot find it, but it's impressive all the developments that we had since Biden was forced to drop out of the presidential race, and he managed to send a tweet endorsing Kamala Harris, and once he endorsed Kamala Harris, the Democrats were essentially locked in with her. Are you gonna throw me away? Then you will have to you're gonna have to work hard to prop up Kamala Harris as your candidate because I'm endorsing her. And by the way, that was the thing that everybody thought that was going to happen. I thought that once Biden got into office in 2020, it was a matter of months for him to be declared senile or something like that, or incapacitated, and then the actual president will be Kamala Harris. I thought that. I bet on that. So it was even normal and expected that Kamala was going to be the next candidate, but nobody thought that Biden was not going to be effectively the one running for a second term. There was no reason, well, in theory, that he couldn't run for a second term. But by the time of the debate between Biden and Trump, the numbers on the Democrats, they already knew that Biden's numbers were bad. And after that debate, they just confirmed it. That those were abysmal. We have to do something. We have to take Biden out of the race. And you remember that 5 days before Biden going out of the presidential race, he was on interview saying, I'm fine, I'm doing this, I'm going to beat Trump again. And he was out. And then, well, it was sweet revenge. See that Trump is delighted? The American people also spoke. The Democrats ran like the worst campaign ever. And in regarding that, we have to move on with our show. We have to move on with our show. Has to do with it, of course. But I want to say a couple final words about this. The body language is completely different of what we saw with Barack Obama back in 2016. Trump decided to skip that 2020, maybe because of those 15 million people who voted for Joe Biden. How did Joe Biden get 81 million votes is the question that nobody has answered so far. I want answers. And I guess that we will be getting those answers real soon. But the idea behind this, behind the past 8 years is that elections in the United States, this is a priority, have to be as safe and secure as never. They have to be made shielded against anything. But now we have this. Biden was betrayed. He said, oh, is that so? I'm going to F you all, starting from Nancy Pelosi all the way to Barack Obama and all the puppet masters that are behind the scenes. He made sure to send them a gift called Kamala Harris. And this is the result. His plan worked. And of course, the American people voted and elected Donald Trump. I want to continue this idea with something that I saw had a very good explanation about how or why this happened. The kind of campaign that the Democrats ran, because it's baffling. You have video right here that I want to show you that you're going to say, no way, this is real. Okay, I'm going to show you this. This is the reason. This is the reason the Democrats actually lost. Who tweeted this? Bunchy. Of all the videos to study for the Kamala postmortem, this is one of the most important. Everything in it pointed to what was to come. And this is perhaps the best explanation. You don't need any more explanation to understand why Kamala Harris lost. This is what they spent $1 billion on.
We're at this Kamala Harris Fashion Week party.
Kamala Harris Fashion Week party. Is this real? Or yes, it has the I cannot zoom in on this. I'm in my bookmarks. Kamala Harris headquarters and New York Fashion Week. What happened at that Fashion Week, you might ask?
And look how dystopian this is. Wait for it. Abortion rights are.
Abortion rights are hot. That was, you remember that was practically 90% of their campaign. I need to make a special about abortion, by the way. I'm still working on it.
It's this game.
This game with the laws, or a Jenga game.
With
With the laws, the national abortion ban, far-right authoritarianism, cut Medicare, no abortion pills. These people are like sick in the head about abortion. What is this?
The laws or whatever. And you can play. It's a real thing. And you play for no abortion pills, ban birth control, cut Medicaid, and if you fail, you fail.
I mean, the amount of the insanity that you, what is the people that you're aiming for? What is the people that you're aiming for to vote for Kamala Harris, and under which circumstances? Because I guess that Democrats were worried as well about the economy. How can you do this and get away with that?
America is insane. Wait. There's also, these are the
Madam President's spicy Rita. Oh my God, that's why Kamala was speaking like that at all those rallies, and especially the interviews. You remember all those videos that I made about Kamala's interviews? She was speaking like, I didn't want to say the word, but sloshed is my favorite word in that regard. It's elegant. Sounds a bit like French, and well, it described her behavior to a T.
Hotel, Madam President Spicy Rita. Look.
And they had also hotties
for Harris. There's this game called Grab Them by...
a game, Grab Them by
Grab Them by the Fight for Repro Rights.
Fight for Repro Rights? I mean, what is this? This is a real thing, and you have to look at this. Pay attention. You can play Plinko.
And like, you put this here. Blue State, we won.
Okay, that is okay. At least it had nothing to do with abortion.
There's an
abortion access. You know that a ball machine with abortion access. I mean,
access ski ball. Fight for repro rights thing. There is a couch.
Okay, this was crazy. There was a couch that said property of J.D. Vance. I mean, I want to try to understand the rationale of the people who were trying to, it's, J.D. Vance is weird. That was a tough sell, especially because J.D. Vance made so much sense, and we were talking about that yesterday, that common sense and making sense is what won Donald Trump this election. So many people say, this is a racist, a misogynist, he's Hitler, whatever. But in the end, it was common sense and authenticity what earned Donald Trump the presidency. And common sense in the sense that the policies that are needed right now, this is a cheap shot. This is an ad hominem attack. This is making fun of the person. They are making fun of the person. of J.D. Vance, you are not going to go very far with that because people are worried about stuff. And how much did they spend on all this?
For J.D. Vance, the Straits as well, Bros for Choice. There's a hall of hotties with Megan Thee
Hall of Hotties, and of course there was Obama in there and Tim Walz. We're not gonna see them anymore, at least in a while.
Stallion and everyone that's hot.
I would love to know the charge for this trash. Yeah, Rick, me too. Me too. I'm just so curious. How much did they spend on this?
I don't see myself, but apparently everyone. And the wall of...
And the wall of weirdos. I can see Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr., J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, by the way. Who else?
Weirdos with everyone that's not hot, including this insane picture of that insane man.
And they had to pick. This is the thing that I don't understand. These people don't understand humor. These people don't understand humor. I mean, this one of the most iconic memes of Donald Trump, and you share that exact picture. And there's so many ways, so many pictures that you could pick of Donald Trump to make fun of him, and you pick the one in which he is making that. You know, there was another hoax, yet another hoax. But no, this is too deep. This is too deep for these people.
A model reading the whole night, all about love.
A model reading a book, all about love. I don't know about that book. Since they used that for Kamala Harris campaign, I realized I don't want to know anything about that book. But they hired a model to just sit there and read that book. Let that sink in.
Bell hooks. Okay.
Okay, who published this? Lie as all right. I have another. Let me post your chat because I had another, like the other side of the coin, an explanation of how they win. I think I thought that they had. This is a mess. My bookmarks are a mess right now. Because I thought that there was, maybe I retweeted that. Or what was the strategy behind? Okay, I'm going to look for it because someone tweeted, Charlie Kirk explained all the strategy. But it was a really nice tweet. I'm looking for it. I cannot find it, but I'm gonna look for it. Okay, here it is. I had it. Sorry, this is a mess. I forgot to. Let's read this. This is a Trump strategy. Let's comment on this. Because this is important. We need to understand what worked so well for Donald Trump. Charlie Kirk reveals the 2024 Trump campaign blueprint that won Donald Trump the White House. This is brilliant. Kirk said the campaign hacked the election by sidestepping the media. Here is what they did. Number one, don't spend your time knocking on doors about a suburban soccer mom who's weighing her options. Number two, spend your time in very Republican areas where there are what we call disengaged voters. In the sense that don't waste your time with people that you know that are going to be very tough to swing to your side, but go to those who are on your side but feel that they cannot be bothered, feel that they think that voting is maybe a waste of time, feel that they are hopeless, think that Democrats are going to cheat either way. You know that this is important. I told you at some point that I had a list of big accounts on X with millions of followers who were blackpilling about Donald Trump. They were saying, okay, well, you go and vote, but I'm sure that Democrats are going to steal it either way. And I said, man, that is not the way to go. Out of politeness, and since Donald Trump won, I'm going to let it pass. Maybe at some point, with my experience with the Venezuelan election stealing, tradition, because it is a tradition for us, I could have felt at some point, maybe the Democrats are going to steal it no matter what. But I kept that to myself. I just told everybody to go to vote. I told everybody to be hopeful. I'm not saying that I was perfect, but I don't think that having millions of followers and telling people that, oh, no, Democrats are going to steal it either way, that was not the right strategy. You were blackpilling against what we wanted. So next time you see it, next time you see these people, realize that they just want to look smart. They want to look smart. How smart and cynical I am. And if Kamala Harris won, then, see, I was right. Kamala Harris won. They stole the election and all that stuff. And I would have snitched on them. But I'm not a snitch. I'm not that kind of person. We're reading this. Number 3, we registered thousands of young men to vote in fraternities. And that was way easier than us going to try to win over swing voters. You have to go to your fan base, and maybe your fan base likes you, but they need the extra, emotion, hope to go and actually vote. The Trump campaign through, number 4, the Trump campaign threw the Republican consultant playbook out. Number 5, the Trump campaign looked at demographics and they realized if we can make the electorate 3%, just 3% more masculine, they de-emphasize racial politics and they emphasize more of a masculine machismo approach. Oh, it's so machismo. Yeah, we needed that. We needed Hulk Hogan on stage raping his shirt and endorsing Donald Trump. We needed that. We absolutely needed that. Number 6, high propensity voters is where the Republican Party has always been focused. But Trump came in and he said, no, we're going to focus on low propensity voters, the welder, the electrician, the carpenter, the police officer, or the person that's just not registered to vote. Let's go for those who are not registered and make sure that they are registered to vote. That's why we had record turnout this time. Number 7, the Trump campaign used Josh Shapiro's motor voter plan. Shapiro thought that was going to help Democrats. It helped Republicans because of lower propensity voters. What Donald Trump's campaign did is they hacked the 2024 election. People are going to come out and say, oh, yes, yeah, he stole the election. He hacked the election. He cheated. It's because, the left, they don't understand nuance in English. They don't understand nuance in language. Not in a way that people would think. Everyone has a supercomputer in their pockets. Why are we worried about what CNN is saying? Because nobody is paying attention to CNN or MSNBC. Nobody is paying attention to the mainstream media. People are paying attention to social media, and especially X. X is where it's at. And well, we need to thank God that Elon bought Twitter back in the day, because this wouldn't have been possible without X. That is a reality. They said, why don't we go on the most ambitious, over-the-top, low-propensity voter communication strategy on Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan, Nelk Boys, Logan Paul? That was the idea. That low-propensity voter is already listening to people. Who are those people? Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan, Nelk Boys, Logan Paul. Let's put our message out there, and that's why the liberals pretend, oh, we need a lefty Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is not left or right. He's basically pretty much liberal. Like 15 minutes ago, he endorsed. I'm sure that he endorsed Trump at the very last minute because of a request of Trump's camp. That was the final blow, like 24 hours before the election. That was on purpose. But it's not like, oh, we needed those platforms. These people talk about everything. It's like myself. At some point, I'm going to expand a bit of my content to talk about everything, quote unquote, but I want to be talking about politics, world affairs, the cultural war, because all of this is intertwined and all this affects us. I want to talk about the cultural war, and that's why I want to talk about abortion and all the lies that have been pushed into people to make it a talking point, at least in the United States, when those rights have not been taken away from you. That was a lie from Democrats. Democrats lied so much that I don't know how they expected that to work. You lied to people so much, and you realize that some of your Democrat, your fan base, your voters, will realize that you were lying. It's like Adrienne Curry has said on X more than a couple times that she was a staunch liberal, a Democrat, and once she saw the full video of the very fine people remarks from Trump, her mind was blown. She saw that like 10 times and she couldn't believe it, and she asked the question, in which other things have the Democrats been lying? Because you realize you have been duped. You realize you have been lied to. And there's a great deception, but at least the important part is that you wake up. And I know that many Democrats are realizing, wait a second, whatever was our party 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, it is no more. And the policies that they try to push onto us, not only in our children, but also the immigration issue, and also the economy that you see in your pocket, in your bills, and everything. No, that was not going to work. No matter how much joy you wanted to push into it. Oh, Joe, no matter how much joy you wanted to push into it. So we've had a great show today. We can talk about the actual show that I had for today. Again, that is what I like about this format. No matter what happens, I was going to talk about Dodge, Elon and Vivek. I was going to talk about the new Secretary of Defense. Even Don Lemon was on the menu today, but this happened like 20 minutes before the show started. I said, I cannot do a show without talking about this. So 15 minutes before the start of the show, I changed everything. I went all out with the body language analysis. I know that many of you are already here because of my body language analysis. I know that you wanted this. Let's see, where is today's actual show? How it was going to begin? I did something wrong. Okay, this is the actual start of today's show. But that is the nice thing of being flexible. That's I can do whatever I want here. I can, as I'm telling you, I came out with the idea, let's compare this with Obama back in 2016. Now we know why we couldn't find that meeting back in 2020, because it never happened. 81 million votes. How did that happen exactly? But the start of today's show was this. Why The Guardian is no longer posting on X. You're going to see this, that they're going to try to, quit X. The Guardian, we wanted to let readers now know that we will no longer post on any official Guardian editorial accounts on the social media site X. We think that the benefits of being on X are now outweighed by the negatives and that resources could be better used promoting our journalism elsewhere. Good luck. Good luck. Because the problem is that your so-called journalism, in which one of the articles, I think it was Pagliacci the Hated on X that shared one article that you can see in The Guardian. Is it an article of The Guardian? Is it that bad to watch child pee? Yes, that was an actual article from The Guardian. I think it's still up on their site. So if that's your journalistic integrity, I hope that you fail. You deserve to fail. And any outlet that is not on X is going to fail. And all these journalists that who have this stupid, insane takes, they're gonna fail as well. You're gonna ask, oh, this platform is against us, this platform is not fair, this platform is banning us. And one guy that also announcing his departure, it was Don Lemon. It is Don Lemon. He is, that he's already pathetic. And he's saying that, he's saying goodbye. He's saying goodbye. Let's see what he said.
Hi, everyone. I have loved connecting with all of you on Twitter and then on X for all of these years. But it's time for me to leave the platform. I once believed that it was a place for honest debate and discussion.
Let's say that 90% of Twitter or X is a shit show. I think that the discussion this is not the best place. We try to do our best, but you need to understand that you will be attacked. That's something that you deal with it. If some people have left for Blue Sky, some have left for other platforms or Threads. You remember Threads from Meta, Meta? Nothing happens in there. Nothing happens. Everything happens on X. And yes, well, the hate and the trolls happen. You have to deal with that. You have to grow a thicker skin, Don.
For honest debate and discussion, transparency and free speech. But I now feel it does not serve that purpose. In addition, starting this Friday, November 15th, X is implementing new terms of service, which among other things states that, quote, all disputes be brought exclusively in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas or state courts located in Tarrant County, Texas, end quote. The full terms of service can be found on my written statement or on the X website. Now, as the Washington Post recently reported on...
This is what I tell you. These people are so boring. If you're a content creator, if you're a journalist, if you're a YouTuber, if you create content of any kind, you cannot afford to be boring. I mean, it doesn't have to do with how long you talk or the length of your videos. My favorite video in the history of YouTube lasts 1 hour and 40 minutes. And it's my favorite video ever. Maybe someday I'll tell you about that video. But this is boring. Okay, what does that change in terms of service? We don't need, the technical details. You're speaking like a boring journalist. You don't sound authentic. Maybe that is the reason people don't like your content. Because you're boring. That's the problem with you, not the platform. And at the same time, as a content creator, both in X and YouTube, I can tell you that my experience in both platforms is like this. Many people say, I've been throttled. YouTube doesn't like my content. X doesn't like my content. No, at least on YouTube, I have grown to understand that it's not the algorithm, because there are 4 algorithms in YouTube, by the way. It's not YouTube that doesn't like you. It's that your videos or live streams suck. It is that simple. And I can tell you, YouTube can have many shortcomings. YouTube can have a lot of censorship. but YouTube success is attainable. You can have success in YouTube. It is a real thing as long as you don't suck. And how do you do that? Well, you work your ass off and put out as many videos as possible. And in every video you make sure to be 0.1% better than the last one. It's that simple. Worked for me, and now I have the best audience in the history of humanity. Right now, we are live through YouTube, X, and Rumble as well. We continue with this. This is pretty short, 20 more seconds.
X's decision to change the terms. This, quote, ensures that such lawsuits will be heard in courthouses that are a hub for conservatives, which experts say could make it easier for X to shield itself from litigation and punish critics.
Why would you care about all that? Why do you want to sue X? Why would anybody would care? I guess that some people would care about that, but we are here to create content. Why would I be concerned of the litigation process or anything? I mean, if I abide by the rules and if I abide by the terms and conditions, I need to abide by YouTube's terms and conditions, X terms and conditions, Rumble's terms and conditions. It's that simple. And if Facebook, for example, doesn't like my content and suspends my page without a chance to appeal, then I tell them to go F themselves. It's that simple. Okay, that's how it works. If I don't know, I apologize for playing this clip. I didn't know it was so boring.
I think that speaks for itself.
No, it doesn't speak for itself. We expect you to explain it to us, but you are so dry that is painful.
You can find me on YouTube.
No, we will not be looking for you. If YouTube suggests your channel to me, I'm going to click and tell YouTube, do not suggest this channel ever again.
At The Don Lemon Show.
No.
Or on TikTok.
Don't get me started on TikTok.
And Facebook.
No.
At Don Lemon. And on Instagram and Blue Sky.
Nobody's there.
At Don Lemon Official. I hope you will join me there.
Yeah, keep hoping, man. Keep hoping. No, that is not dehydrated lemon. Dehydrated lemon. No, this is perfect. Perfect comment with, this face. Matt's spot on comment. Dehydrated lemon with that face. No, man. That ain't gonna happen anytime soon. Let me see. What else did we have today? We have something about Biden. Oh, I had to mention this. I had to mention this from Pedro's mustache. It's been a week and I'm still beside myself that America was saved by an autistic billionaire genius, a murder squirrel, a 5-foot-tall thumb, and a 5'5" openly gay Republican foot soldier. This was just magic, and my comment, this is like Guardians of the Galaxy if Guardians of the Galaxy was written by Douglas Adams. This is a kind of a bizarro reality. And more bizarro reality was this. Reporter, Mr. President, do you think you can get a ceasefire deal done by the end of your term? And Biden answered, do you think that you can get hit in the head by the camera behind you? What? What in the actual... Let me just make sure to normalize this.
President...
So you can hear Biden's answer more clearly. Here we go.
President Biden, do you think that you can get a hostage deal by the end of your term?
You think you can get hit in the head by a camera behind you? All right. Thank you all.
What? It's that is the transcript. Mr. President, do you think you can get a ceasefire deal done by the end of your term? And Biden, do you think that you can get hit in the head by the camera behind you? What? Did he imply no? No, I'm not gonna be hit in the head? And I usually don't mention, well, we already mentioned Dumb Lemon. I'm going to say that I don't mention some people in here, but I needed to mention this. I needed to mention, talk about this guy, Eric Weinstein. I remember the last time I mentioned Eric Weinstein in my show, so many of you were defending him. I didn't know who the guy was back then. I know what he doesn't stand for. And back in October 29, you remember this tweet, I spoke about this. Wait a second. I have an issue here, a sound issue. Okay, now I had an issue with my feedback of sound. Thank you for holding for those couple seconds. In October 29th, he tweeted this: I am failing this election. I tried, but I simply failed. I cannot work within these concepts. My world, my country, my America is not on the ballot. And he was heavily criticized because he pointed out all the failures of the Democrat Party, all the failures of the Biden-Harris administration, all the struggles that Americans were going through, and all that was pointing in the direction that, well, maybe you should say at least that maybe Trump is the lesser of two evils, but no, not even that. And what do we got now? Now he said this: and by the way, I am happy not to go to Washington. I am also happy to help and to go. It totally depends. He said that, well, yesterday after Trump won. How convenient, right? Trump wins, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'm up, I'm game, let's do this, I'm willing to work. That's not how it works. That's not how it works, because it means that you have no spine. And some of you might respect Eric Weinstein. The guy seems intelligent. I'm going to say that the first time I knew about his existence is that he went on Piers Morgan. And some people, I've seen some guests at Piers Morgan, and they are okay, I'm okay with them. But Piers Morgan is a snake. That guy doesn't have any kind of principles. He just go with the mass is saying. He would say whatever the mass is saying. He will align himself with whatever the majority is saying. He is a spineless, coward snake, and he has me blocked, by the way. So I don't think he's gonna be listening to this anytime soon. But I thought he was an actual journalist. And in Piers Morgan, his show, that's where I saw Eric Weinstein. I don't saw that show. I don't watch it. But this is what happens when you stumble upon people who can be quite intelligent. I understand that he worked for Peter Thiel. I don't think that he could have worked for Peter Thiel if he wasn't intelligent. But you can be smart. You can have a high IQ. But if you don't stand for what is right, or at least you don't stand against what is wrong, then of what value are you? Of what value is a human being if you cannot stand for something concrete when the time comes? And I don't mean now, I mean back in October when it was needed, right? You to say something. Maybe so many people following you, so many people, oh no, I cannot align myself with anybody. I will point out all the flaws of the Democrats and Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, but I'm gonna align myself with anybody. So lovely. So lovely. Oh. There are two Eric Weinsteins, and this is something I wanted to talk about. I wanted to mention this. Why do people clap and cheer? Why my software is beginning to malfunction. I don't know why. Why do people clap and cheer this stuff? I'm going to play this. I'm going to generate some subtitles that I hadn't generated. I'm telling you, it was so improvise this show. We were talking about abortion. I should leave this clip for my abortion video, but I'm going to show you this so you can judge for yourself. This is the kind of, I don't know, humor, anecdotes that they pretended to connect people with.
Decided to give the fetus a pet name, and because it's a fetus and not a person, and
there's so many things that I can analyze here. The way that she makes it clear that it was a fetus, no, it was not a person.
and because it's a fetus and not a person,
Have no idea who she is. I couldn't care less.
and because my husband's last name is Epstein, naturally we named the fetus Jeffrey.
Yeah, naturally, because you're a couple of sociopaths for some reason. You can see that Colbert is uncomfortable himself. Like, I'm gonna get into trouble, right?
And I had a pregnancy app, and every week they would send me a new reminder, like, Jeffrey Epstein's the size of a kumquat. It was...
And I can understand that the audience is full of NPCs and non-player characters, just zombies that just cheer and laugh when they see the light, the light just pop. It's like they have no soul. Who can laugh and cheer at this?
So cute. And we named the fetus Jeffrey because I was 39 when I got pregnant, so a high-risk pregnancy. And if, God forbid, anything happened, we wanted to be able to say, well, maybe Jeffrey Epstein killed himself.
Yeah, this is the kind of people. This is the kind of people that we are dealing with. We are dealing right now, worldwide, because these people exist. These people are real. I would like to say these people are not real, because how can this be a thing? But sadly, it is. It is a thing. But well, let's talk about the current or upcoming Secretary of Defense. The new Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, is about to make the military mighty again by firing all the DEI hires. This is going to be amazing. In the words of Jordan Peterson, men should be competent and dangerous because it's the alternative to being weak, and weak is not good. One thing is for certain, nobody is going to miss this. As I meme, therefore I am, says, I'm looking forward for this circus to leave the town. This is gonna be so over, and we are so back. Maybe I can generate some subtitles for you. I don't know what this is. So crazy. Let's see. Let's see. Generate subtitles for this whole section. See that so many of you like subtitles. I sometimes like subtitles. Maybe I'm watching a video without the sound because for any reasons, or maybe I'm a very loud environment. I don't have headphones, and subtitles always help. And I make sure to add subtitles to everything. I do it especially because I like it. Let's hear him.
There's a chance to course correct it, but it would take the new Trump administration going after it really hard.
This was, I believe, it was 5 days before the elections. I believe this was 5 days before the elections.
How would they correct it?
Well, first of all, you got to fire, you got to fire the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and you got to fire this. I mean, obviously, you're going to bring in a new Secretary of Defense, but any general that was involved, general, admiral, whatever, that was involved in any of the DEI woke shit, has got to go.
Thumbs up. We are behind that.
Either you're in for war fighting, and that's it, and that's the only litmus test we care about. You got to get DEI and CRT out of military academies, so you're not training young officers to be baptized in this type of thinking. And then, whatever the standards, whatever the combat standards were, say, in, I don't know, 1995. Let's just make those the standards. And as far as recruiting, to hire the guy that, did Top Gun Maverick and create some real ads that motivate people to want to serve.
Yeah, that would be a great idea. You need ads that inspire people to join the army.
And there's lots of other ways in which you could identify who gets promoted and what, but there's an ethos change. I mean, there's a reason people don't want to serve, because they don't trust that their senior leaders are going to have their best interest in mind in combat.
That is important as well. You know that it's like the serving means that you have to feel like a brotherhood. Like you're part of, it's more than a family. It's closer, it's tighter than a family, especially if you're in combat. We're going to be talking about combat shortly.
I know there were mistakes made on our tours all over the place. But I, at least for the most part, had a sense that my senior leaders were committed to the completion of the mission for the right reasons. And maybe there were strategic differences and all that other stuff, and it wasn't always perfect, but that trust is broken.
Yeah, once that trust is broken, well, it's hard, if not it's impossible, to be able to mend it.
And you have to reestablish that trust by putting in no-nonsense warfighters in those positions who aren't going to cater to the socially correct garbage.
Socially correct garbage, yeah, that must be out. And as Mila Joy says, anytime a leftist brings up Pete Hegseth being unqualified, I remind them of this guy. Yeah, this is a great reminder of how things work back in the day before Elon bought Twitter. You remember that the Babylon Bee was suspended indefinitely because they joked about this being a man of the year. They were suspended about that joke. And, well, that's why I tell you it's such a relief that we had X right now. A red-headed libertarian, Pete Hegseth, we should not have women in combat roles. He is right. Combat vets are some of the most masculine men on earth, and their instinct is to protect women. They can't be laser-focused on killing Nazis when there are women on the front lines. Let's talk about this.
I'm straight up just saying.
I think I have to... Let's do something to fix this. All right, better. You will be able to watch it even with the low contrast.
I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles. It hasn't made us more effective, hasn't made us more lethal, has made fighting more complicated. We've all served with women, and they're great. It just, our institutions don't have to incentivize that in places where not traditionally, over human history, men in those positions are more capable.
Yeah, this thing, and many of you have already mentioned in those comments that what about Tulsi Gabbard? I understand that she was in combat zones, okay? She was in combat zones, so to speak. I really don't, I haven't been able to know the hard facts. But she was at a medical division. This was in terms of the medic division, but not in combat per se. I'm also behind this. I would like to know what she thinks about this. That women should not be involved in combat, because there's so many situations in which someone gets hurt. And you need to get one of your comrades, your brothers out of the war zone. You need to make sure that any of your friends, the other soldiers, can take you away from that. Can carry you or take you away in any way. So you need men. You need the testosterone. You need the strength. You need all that, and then some. Yeah, women can be in the military in many ways, but not in combat. That is maybe not the best idea, in the sense that the physical demand of combat, it's something that maybe maybe you can have women that can pass the tests, but still they will be in average not as fast, not as strong, not has that the stamina of the rest. That's something that it's a reality. It's a biological reality. Again, women can join the military, but we need to understand that biology doesn't care about what you think, what you feel, or what are your pronouns. It's that simple. And well, the meltdown over Pete Hegseth is amazing. The more mad they are, the better of a pick you know it is. He's a smart combat veteran, 2 Bronze Stars, and what are they saying about it? Let's say Joy. It's such a strange that this woman is called Joy, the way that she talks.
The former and future president is moving quickly to fill the clown car and round out his cabinet before he changes his mind and fires them all. Moments ago, Trump announced that he has selected Fox Weekend morning show host, you can't make this up, Pete Hegseth, to serve as Secretary of Defense, because why not?
Yeah, I would say that what is the problem that he is a host of Fox Weekend morning show? What is the deal with that? People have to work after they leave the military, and they can do any sort of work, and any work is great. So you're trying to judge somebody just because where are they working? That's why, well, you have to remember, the smart combat veteran, 2 Bronze Stars, loves America, spoke out against wokeness in the military, make America great again, but you cannot. You know that those people are on the way out. Those people are on the way out, and they know it. They are becoming irrelevant. We are the new media. Look at me. Look at me. I am the media now. I am the media now. We are the media now, and that's why we are here. And that's why I'm so delighted to have you here and be able to share these shows with you. Let me read your super chats. Let's see what's in your super chats. Oh, thank you, Sandra, because your remarks of Biden's tie today. Purple in American politics is a sign of bipartisanship. It's a blend of red and blue. Spot on. Yeah, it's like Biden's tie was pretty much, let's go right there. So those friends who are joining a bit late today can notice that this was purplish, spot on. Deborah, the fire that was behind Biden and Trump, the fire is Kamala's ours. Cannot disagree, Deborah. And Samantha, thank you for your super chat. Jesus, you are a bright spot in our day. Thanks for helping make sense of this crazy world with never-ending humor and grace. You are love. Thank you, Samantha. I appreciate your comment and your super chat. And let me see what else do we have here. Oh, there's a super sticker coming. Leslie McDonald, pure character lifting some weight, saying keep it up. Thank you, Leslie. Appreciate as well. And for some of you are members. You see that Leslie has a tiny symbol. Leslie is a member of my channel. Maybe you are subscribed to me on X. It's like a special tier. It's like, I think it's $7 right now. I don't remember what is the tier here on YouTube and on Locals as well. On all these platforms, Locals, Patreon, X, and YouTube, I'm posting exclusive content to my special members and subscribers. And the latest content I posted, I'm going to tell you the exact name of the video I posted yesterday, that if you become a member, you can watch instantly. The video is the one trick that exposes liars and boosts your charisma at the same time. If you want to watch that video, you can become a member in any of these platforms: YouTube, or X or Locals or Patreon, and you will be able to watch it. I will make sure to make a special video every 2 days, maybe 3 or 4 special videos for my members every week. And well, you know that you can join there if you are already subscribed to the Jesus Enrique Rosas channel on YouTube, or Kinesics on X, or the Jesus Enrique Rosas channel on Rumble. You can see a link to become a member as well. So I think we are done for today. There's another. So the row, where do you see the United States to be in 4 years? 4 years is a long time for what we have on schedule. So dear, I would say that I hope that in 2 years, before the midterm elections, we should be seeing changes, especially in terms of a lighter government. Already, we were talking about we were going to talk about that today. In the Department of Government Efficiency is going to be running for 500 days, give or take. It's 520 days. It's not going to be part of the government. It's going to be outside of the government. This is important because some people are saying, oh, how is X going to be fair now that Elon is going to be part of the government? Elon is not going to be part of the government. This department is going to be like a consulting office, and Vivek Ramaswamy is going to join Elon Musk on that. And just by reducing the size of the government, I think it's going to be a huge improvement and make it run smoother. The part of the big pharma not being able to run ads on television is going to be great as well. A great change, a great shift. And the most important part, I think the most important part is that the mainstream media knows that they are not going anywhere. CNN, MSNBC, they are not going anywhere. But they know that they have to change. And we have seen the writing on the wall, like Jeff Bezos telling the Washington Post expressly that they are not going to endorse Kamala Harris, or the LA Times, we are not going to endorse Kamala Harris. People quitting because of that. They're going to have more conservative views and articles, because that is the idea. You can still have liberal articles and writers, but you have to try to balance it with conservative views as well. And how do you do that if liberals are so hell-bent into, I don't know, destruction of everybody because they are unhinged? Well, for starters, the mainstream media should be forced. They are not going to do it by themselves. They have to be forced to have like a moral approach to not brainwash people with lies and hoaxes. And the Democrat Party, if they know, if they want to survive as a party, if they want to win an election ever again, they have to drop the identity politics. Spoiler alert, they won't. They have to drop all the DEI insanity. Spoiler alert, they won't. They have to come clean about all that means climate change and all the hazards of climate. Okay, where are your nuclear plants? What color is your nuclear plant? We could say. Andrew Tate would tell, what color is your nuclear plant if you are for climate change? Tell me. If not, you're a hypocrite, as in everything that you have said. And you have to drop, go easy, or drop the abortion issue, because it's not an issue anymore. Again, I would prefer that there's some kind of balance, because it's silly when you have one party that essentially wants to destroy themselves as they did. The Democrats did that to themselves. Nobody did that to them. They did that to themselves. And I wouldn't say that every single Republican is on point or is righteous. No, that doesn't happen. And if we talk about 4 years from now, 4 years from now, Trump is not going to run for president again. Who is it going to be? Well, one thing that these elections have taught us is that in a matter of months, things can change. And the best approach that we can have as human beings, as citizens of any country, is to adapt, to be fluid, to flow with the times, to try to foresee what's going to happen, like in a couple months, in 6 months, maybe 1 year, and try to prepare and act accordingly. My role here is to spot not only the lies, the inconsistencies, the body language as well of everybody involved in this news, but also try to, give you my insights. There's also a topic that we have not addressed yet, which is artificial intelligence. That is going to be really disruptive, especially in the following 2 years, in the sense that industries as huge as music, cinema, movies, the movie industry, and video games are going to be disrupted by artificial intelligence, and that is going to affect the economy in ways that we cannot understand at this point. We know that it's going to affect us in positive ways, in the sense that these people want to make money. Everyone wants to make money with AI, and that's why they are pushing to build nuclear plants again. Very safe nuclear plants, maybe smaller nuclear plants. They're starting this. We're going to be using fossil fuels still, and electric cars, especially Tesla. Tesla is going to dominate the market. There's one thing, I always remember those words: you never bet against Elon. I'm going to be a bit nerdy and maybe a bit geeky right now. You know that they used to have this LiDAR technology. I don't know if that's the way that it's pronounced, LiDAR. And that is the way that the Google car used to read the environment. I'm going to give you this example of how an industry like the automotive industry can be disrupted, and how our future can be disrupted. I'm going to go not sci-fi, because this is something that is happening right now. And the first cars, and all these cars that are in San Francisco, that are taxis that nobody's driving, and you board those taxis, and the taxis are completely robotic. They're using LiDAR technology, in which they have to read, send a signal. It's like a sonar. They send a signal like a bat, like Batman. They send a signal and they receive the signal back. Okay, and they are in this, scanning the environment. But when Elon was building all the AI that was going to turn into the full self-drive nowadays in Tesla, he said that LiDAR technology was not going to cut it. It's not going to work at scale. They needed to make it simpler. And to make it simpler is to just cover the car with 8 cameras that are constantly reading the environment on video. It's like a camera on your mobile phone. No special signal sending back. No, it's simply filming the environment, and that feeding an AI with how people were driving. You were driving your Tesla. You were essentially teaching the car how to drive in so many situations. And there was this huge, that we cannot process how huge is that data center of Tesla to crunch all this. And he finally solved to be able to read your environment without the LiDAR technology. And every other car manufacturer who used LiDAR technology said, we cannot solve this. We cannot solve this. And Elon was already ages ahead of this. What does this mean? How can this disrupt not only the automotive industry? Is that the technology is so simple that, for example, General Motors, I don't know, they can have let's say a Toyota Corolla. This is the Corolla is very popular in Venezuela, by the way. Toyota could say, we are going to license Tesla's technology. How do they do that? It's quite simple. You just have to add the 8 cameras to your cars. That's it. And then, well, we install the same brain that we have developed. I'm trying to be as simple as possible here. And essentially, a Toyota will be able to drive itself with Tesla's technology. Tesla will be able to license their technology to any car maker in the world with the same information, with the VAS, and they keep building information with this. Why it's going to be disruptive? Well, the easiest answer is that roads are going to be safer, because you have not only Teslas communicating among themselves, but the Teslas communicating with the Mazdas, the Toyotas, the Chevys, every car communicating between them with the cameras, reading the road, and all of them working as a whole, like this swarm, making sure that they don't crash between them, making sure that they have all the information, have this network of cars in which, well, you will be able to shit post while you are riding back and forth Walmart. You will be able to be shit posting on X instead of driving, because, well, your car, no matter your brand, is going to be able to do that. How does that change so many things? That will change our lives in ways that we cannot understand, because that means that the data that cars have and the robots will have is going to change. It's going to change too many things. And we're talking about only about that. We're talking about how we will be assisted with artificial intelligence. Nowadays, we have tools that help me do the job of 10, 20, 30 people at the same time. All of us have a huge research assistant in our pocket that can access. Yeah, ChatGPT can be a bit woke sometimes, but I don't think that you should be asking for political opinions to an AI. That is quite absurd. Or maybe to, Google Gemini. That was a mess. But as I'm telling you, I'm fascinated by all these topics. All these topics are connected, interconnected. No topic is isolated, and this is something that you must remember. Thinking is always a systemic process. Maybe we talk about politics, we talk about elections, we talk about USA, we talk about the UK, we talk about Venezuela, we talk about Tesla, Disney, all this, but all is connected in the end, and all is part of the world. How the economy works, how diplomacy works worldwide. That would be fascinating. And the best part is that I will be here to, try to make sense of all that and try to learn a bit from you and try to share with you my insights. Well, let me see if there are a couple more super chats. Margie, thank you for that super chat. Great show, Jesus. My pleasure. See, I missed your super chat. I don't know why I missed your super chat. But well, my body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. And remember to download my body language tips totally for free in the description of this video. You can also look for my body language book, Body Language in 40 Days on Amazon in the description of this video. And you can also join as a member on any of the platforms that you are watching this live from for my exclusive videos. I lost the track of the closing of the live. Until we meet on another live tomorrow, and will be episode 19. Remember the most important words. Much love and bliss. Take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.